Hello, hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action. This is a special edition of Warriors Talk, where we're bringing you 31 facts in 31 days in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, for the entire month of October, for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you can get the facts. So I want you to get your pen, get a piece of paper, and write down these different facts that we're going to give you for the 31 days because we're going to do our raffle and put your name in the raffle for those who are watching the show so that you can win a t-shirt or you can win one of my books. The show is being sponsored by Emmanuel Church of God in Christ with Pastor Michael Richardson, who has a very special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emmanuel Kojic at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emmanuel Kojic-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson, and we're from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
Co-hosting with me today is none other than 13-year breast cancer survivor and advocate, Angela Gilliam. Hey, girl.
Hey. Hello, everyone.
What's
Welcome
up?
to Warriors Talk.
I'm excited. We have my Leah on already sharing a comment. She says, thank you for sharing your wisdom. Once again, I'm watching. Thank you for watching, my Leah. I appreciate you. Are you ready, Angela?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Nervous, but I'm ready.
Awesome. So for the next 31 days, we will be giving out, for the whole month of October, we're giving out facts every single day as it relates to breast cancer awareness. Last night, we talked about how important awareness is, and this is day 2, and we're talking about identifying your risk of breast cancer. Now that you have the information and you are aware, what are you going to do with that information? What is your course of action when it comes to what you need to do? So let's just jump right into identifying your breast cancer risk. You want to go first, Angela?
Sure. Identifying your breast cancer risk. It could be your age, gender. Far as women, 1 in 8. With the men, 1 in 1,000. Your family history, your stress levels, your lifestyle, genetic mutation, and your reproduction history.
So you talked about being a woman. Being a woman simply puts you at risk for breast cancer. Now, they're saying that most breast cancers are found in women who are 50 and older, but we all know someone who is under the age of 50 that was diagnosed with breast cancer. So being a woman and your age, your gender just puts you at risk for breast cancer with nothing else listed. Just those two put you at risk. And men, you're not exempt from this. You're not exempt. Although it's 1 in 1,000 for men. That's still, I say, one is one too many. What else?
So.
Okay.
We also have having density breast, being exposed to radiation in your chest, not being physical active, which not having enough activity in your body, exercising, being overweight, taking hormone replacements, and alcohol beverage abuse.
Okay, so let's talk about having dense breasts. So dense breasts have more of this connective tissue, like fatty tissue. So if you take a mammogram, on the mammogram, it's gonna look like white fatty tissue. And cancer looks the same way. So individuals who have dense breasts or breast density, you should not be getting a regular mammogram. If your doctor has identified your breast as dense breast, or you having breast density, then you need to be getting an MRI mammogram, a diagnostic mammogram, because they're not going to be able to see it on the regular mammogram because, again, because you have the fatty tissue and it looks just like cancer.
And it's
And,
not clear at all. Not at
and
all.
according to statistics, they're saying that women who have dense breasts are more likely to get breast cancer. So if you know you have dense breasts, then you need to make sure that you're being vigilant about staying on top of your breast health.
And remember, you can always be your own advocate. And then you can always have more than one opinion.
I say if you, whatever brings you peace of mind, right? So if you
Yes.
get the one opinion and something in you is just not sitting right and you feel like I need more, get a second opinion. What I will say is don't use the second opinion as a stall tactic, right? Don't
Right.
use that second opinion to try to wait and have treatment because you're too nervous to go into treatment. Don't do that. If you're going to get a second opinion, then get the second opinion and then, compare the two. They might say the same thing, they might not say the same thing, but at least you will have a peace of mind knowing that you went that extra mile.
It's always good.
All right. So, did you mention gene mutation?
Genetic mutation? Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, I
So
do.
let's just dig a little deeper in that because a lot of people feel like if they don't have a breast cancer that runs in their family, that they feel like, oh, I'm okay. There's
Right.
nobody in my family that has had breast cancer. But according to statistic, um, 85% of women who have breast cancer don't have a hereditary link, right? It's only that
Right.
5 to 10% that have that hereditary link. So how do you know that you have a hereditary link, that you have that genetic mutation? Well, you will go and get genetic testing done. Talk to your doctor about getting genetic testing done to see if you have that hereditary link so that you can let other people in your family know as well so that they know how to move forward with their breast health.
And we as African American race, we really don't get into the genetic mutation, you know. And I think that's something that we all should do once, whether it's breast cancer or any kind of cancer come across in your family, everyone should get genetic testing.
And remember, it's not just for you. Genetic testing is not just for you, but it's for other family members and that's in your family. And they're still developing tests, when it comes to like the breast cancer and other cancers. So they may not be testing you for everything that's out there, but at least, the main things right now, you'll know if you have that hereditary link for breast cancer or ovarian cancer.
Right. And ovarian cancer runs very high and it's not really talked about a lot. So ovarian and cervical cancer well, more so cervical cancer runs really close to breast cancer. So the genetic mutation will be really, really, really good. Like Lady Rochelle say, it's not just for us, it's for other members in our family as well to be educated and to know what's going on with their body as well.
Now, what we're talking about as far as your age, getting older, having dense breasts, genetic mutation, these are risk factors that you cannot change, right? These are things that you cannot do anything about, these risk factors. So these are the ones that we're talking about right now, the things that you can't change.
Right.
Reproductive health. So if you started your period before 12 and started menopause after 55, then you have a higher risk of getting breast cancer. And I know one of them was breastfeeding. They said, oh, if you breastfeed your baby, then it decrease your risk of getting breast cancer. I'm like, what? I breastfed all of my babies at least a year, at least a year.
Right. I breastfed my son for a couple of months, and oh, that's not true.
Yeah, I think some stuff you kind of cancel it out if you have other things going on. I think it kind of maybe
Right.
cancel stuff out. Hmm.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, a personal.
Um,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
A personal history of breast cancer or certain non-cancerous breast disease. And I think you mentioned this before when we was talking about like maybe having cysts in your breast or different issues going on with the breast.
Yeah, fibrocystic breast, and each race have different things to affect them differently. And I know we as African American women, we do. It doesn't matter how large the breast is that comes to fibrocystic breast, and we carry fibrocystic in our. We have fibrocystic breast heavily, real heavily, and we just don't really pay attention enough to it, and we don't ask questions, you know, about the fibrocystic breast. When a physician say, "Oh, you have a lot of fibrocystic breast. You have a lot of fibrocystic cysts in your breast," and they just go, when you should always ask questions. Now, I say this because not because I'm a survivor, but not only as being a survivor, I was taught by my grandma to always ask a question if you didn't understand the answer when you seen your physician. Always ask what that means.
I guess
So,
maybe because they don't hear the word breast cancer, then they feel like, oh, okay, well, it's not breast cancer, so maybe I don't have to worry about it. But if you don't know what it is, you should be asking
you
questions.
ask anyway. Correct, correct. I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
We're talking about risk factors as it relates to breast cancer. Number six is if you have a family history of breast and ovarian cancer, it puts you
Yes,
at a higher risk for developing cancer. So I tell my girls, I was diagnosed at 43. So I'm telling them at 33, maybe 23, start thinking about your breast health. Before that, you have your period, then you're checking your breasts, right? But when
right,
you talk to your doctor and say, "Hey, my mom had breast cancer, so what is my breast cancer risk?" When I go to the doctor with my girls, I tell them that I have breast cancer so that they already know it's already on record when they go to
right,
the doctor.
right,
So if a woman has, for a woman's risk for breast cancer, it's higher if you have a mother, a sister, or a daughter, which is like a first degree relative, or multiple family members on either the mother or the father's side who has had breast or ovarian cancer. So don't just think. I know some people be like, well, that's her. She had breast cancer. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Sometimes we feel like it's an isolated incident when somebody in our family is diagnosed with cancer, but you still should know about your own. Be breast self aware.
definitely. And some people, if a family member, say like with me on both my sides of my dad's side and my mom's side, it runs very heavy on both sides. So I have to talk about, my nieces and my nephews to let them know, that that's a high level of breast cancer running on both sides of my on our family, on my dad's side as well as my mom's side. So, just cancer alone itself on both sides. So
My
it's
Leah said,
important to let
I'm
them
sorry.
know.
My
That's
Leah
okay.
said, my Leah said, asking questions is important. Thank you for dropping knowledge, ladies. This knowledge. Thank you, my Leah, for listening. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. Talking about
Thank you, my
risk
Leah.
factor. My next one is previous treatment using radiation, having radiation to the chest, that is. And this may be something that may not apply to everybody. So, for some reason, if you have had to have radiation to the chest to treat something, um, an example would be Hodgkin's lymphoma. They say before the age of 30, it puts you at a higher risk for breast cancer later in life.
Okay. When you say being exposed to radiation, um, maybe some people thinking like exactly. Well, no, you explain it. You explain it. I'm
It's
thinking more so on like getting X-rays.
no, so it's
That's
not
more.
that. It's
Right,
having
right. That's why I said you
no,
explained it. So, right, right.
having previous treatment using radiation therapy. So if you go to the doctor and you get an
That's
X-ray,
someone that. Yeah.
no,
Okay.
it's a low dosage that you're getting, and it's not like you're getting X-ray every single day, right? So you're
Right,
not really being put at a high risk for radiation when we do that. Yeah.
right.
And I could remember my doctor, like once I was done with treatment, because I was diagnosed with the triple negative, they don't like to put you under a lot of testing once you're done with treatment, right? Because they're exposing you to the different types of, you're getting exposed to radiation when you got to do all of these different scans and stuff like that. So she's like, no, you don't need to
Yeah.
do all of these different scans. You've already done the scans already. We don't have to go through these scans all over again because you just got done with treatment, and it's putting you at a higher risk if you had treatment before. So
And I know, once upon a time, one my physician, a surgeon, I on my left breast is where they removed the majority of all of my cancer. That's where it was in my left breast, and I always had a lot of pain, such severe pain, but he didn't want to go in and give me a lot of like ultrasounds and like he say scans and different things he said because it's not good for my body, you know. So he did it a few times, maybe once or twice, and it was the scar tissue that was left behind that was causing such a severe pain in my breast. It's the scar tissues from the removal of the lump, from the lumpectomy that I had. And my lumpectomy was huge. But that's that's why I had to get like two more ultrasounds and I had one scan because he couldn't determine what the where the pain was coming from because he thought that the ultrasound would get it, help, but it didn't. So I had to get a scan. So that's when he found out that it was the scar tissues that was causing me such severe pain.
I
So
remember having at least two scans. Well, I did the MRI, then I did the scan of my heart, and then I did the scan of my whole body to see if it's spread. So, once they put you through all of that, it's like,
right,
that it's a lot. It's a lot on the body, and they don't want after treatment. They don't want to expose you. Even when you going through treatment, they don't want to be keep exposing you to radiation when they know what it causes. So,
right.
and you're already at a high susceptible rate to getting it by having previous radiations. All right, so we just talked about risk factors for breast cancer that you can't do anything about, right? You can't do anything about your age. You can't do anything about your sex, right? You can't do anything about your family history. That's something that you're born with. You can't do anything to change any of those things. Now, I would say environmental was one of them.
Right.
Did you want to get into environmental, Angela?
Yes, I would love to get into environmental because some of the environmental, when I saw them, I was like, huh? It's environmental chemicals in the environmental, such as some plastic. You wouldn't believe certain makeup, certain cosmetics, certain personal care products. And I knew about the pesticides, but the cosmetics, some cosmetics, because I wear makeup myself periodically, and I always make sure it doesn't say animal tested, you know. So, but when I saw the personal care products, I was like, wow, okay. I'm thinking more that should be even more safe for us, the personal care products. But I knew about the pesticide, you know. But the plastic, I was kind of shocked about the plastic as well myself.
Well, I know they
So,
said people who have certain jobs like painting, construction, um, they have a higher risk for cancer because they're exposed to all these different types of chemicals.
right, right.
I was talking to a lady yesterday at the Sister Strut, and she was telling me about this area that she lived in, and I want to say she said the Gresham area, and she was saying
Mm,
something about they had some sort of company over there, and everybody in that area was getting cancer. And they ended up suing and they ended up getting some money. And so she's trying to spread the word to everybody who lived in that area, still live in that area, that,
mm-hmm.
you know, a lot of them have gotten cancer diagnosis. So your environment does play a role, everything around you. And I don't want you to be walking around like, oh my God, this is you know, you can't do anything, you can't eat anything, you can't really breathe because, it causes cancer. No, no,
No, I'm not saying
no,
that at all.
no. You just have to be, you just got to be careful, diligent in what you're doing, how you're doing it. And if you know certain products causes cancer, avoid them.
Right,
Avoid those products if you know that they have a link. And you can go to the websites that have the .gov or the .org on them as it relates to cancer, and you can look up that information, and they would tell you what products are linked to cancer. We already know that red meat is linked to cancer. It's the number one carcinogen. So, but people still eat it. They still eat it.
yeah,
So you just have to pick your battles when it comes to environmental. You just really have to pick your battles.
definitely. Because when I saw cosmetics, I was like, I love my lipsticks.
Yep.
So, that really, I was just blown out the water with that one. And personal care, I was really blown out the water with that one. And, the personal care products. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was talking about like the skin lightening creams that they have out there. Though that's one of them. And I know going around was like the relaxers that African Americans use. They were saying that there was linked to our damaging our reproductive health, the dyes. Yes. So, and I think that was one reason why I really didn't want the relaxer back in my hair because of that. Even though I just felt like that was just one step that I could take in being proactive. So
Yeah, I know about the pesticides uh, because from cleaning and the different fumes that you're inhaling when you're cleaning up or what air hair air freshener or when you're cleaning up your house, it's just the different the sprays you use for to kill the mosquitoes, But now they have all natural sprays out there for pesticides now that you can use. I think it's called I think it's called Zeno. Yeah, I think that's the name of it. It's an all natural pesticide. You can spray in your house. It's safe for yourself. It's safe around kids. So look into it. It's like at Target. I know it's at Target. It's probably I'm not for sure if it's at Walmart, but I definitely know that it's at Target. So
So if you go to the National Cancer Institute website, they have on it cancer causing substances in the environment. And so you could go through the list and it'll tell you all the different substance that causes cancer. So okay, let me stay away from these things. So you just have to do your research and go there. All right, so we talked about risk factors that you cannot change as it relates to breast cancer. Let's get into some of the risk factors that you can, that you have some control over when it comes to breast cancer.
yes,
All is not lost. So
no,
I'll just go with number one. You not being physically active, and that's something that I'm not gonna say everybody. If you have the physical capacity to
yes.
being so,
I'm just starting to be physically active again myself, uh, and it feels good. My favorite motto, my favorite word is, it's a good kind of hurt. So it hurts, but it's good for me. So instead of me saying I don't want to do it, I'd have to remind myself and say in my head, it's a good kind of hurt because it's for me you know so it helps me to get a better movement and circulation in my blood in those cells that needs to be active and moving around. So that's my motto. It's a good kind of hurt. It hurts, but it's good for me, as well as it's hurting as well. So that's my motto. It's a good kind of hurt. So that's what I say to myself. It's a good kind of hurt, and that works for me. And I have to just keep telling myself that.
so the key is to get moving. Start wherever you are. Meet yourself wherever you are. Don't compare yourself to anybody else and where they are
Definitely.
physically. Do whatever you can do and build up from there. The key is to get moving. If you live a sedentary lifestyle, then and you're putting yourself at risk for cancer. So you have to get moving.
Definitely.
And you don't have to have a gym membership. You can walk. Walking is free, right? You can pull up YouTube and they have exercise video. You could put exercise video for beginners and you can work in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go anywhere. So you just have to make the commitment for better health.
Also, if you go on YouTube, there's where you can do the line dances. That's getting the body moving. You know. Um, Sometimes I just get up and I just start dancing. I just start dancing. I just start moving. At first, I did it before, I started, doing the physical therapy and everything that I'm doing now, as far as the good kind of hurt. It feels good because I'm moving around. And that's a better quality of life that I'm starting to give myself. And it feels good. Good kind of hurt. So instead of, you know, just sitting there not doing anything, an idle mind, it's not going to help. You have to get up, you have to move, and you're going to feel great about yourself. And just remember, it's still a good kind of hurt because in the end, it's doing good for you and no one else. Remember that. It's a good kind of hurt.
And just got to get moving. I'm gonna read this comment. Is it hairstyles by is it Ona? I don't know if I pronounced that right. She says a lot of black hair care products have carcinogens. She is a hairstylist and she has revamped all of her products. So she said if you see what is it, DMDM, is it high dot hydroten? I don't know, Angela. You probably know how to um,
Wait a minute.
sound it out. She said, or if it releases formaldehyde with the heat, um,
Mm,
you just have to look at the you got to look at the actual label when you with your food. You have to look at the label. With your hair products, you have to look at the label. I commend you for revamping all of your products to make sure that you're giving your people healthy products, because like she
yes,
like she just said, she said a lot of the black products have carcinogens in it. She also says there are real organic products that are really organic and not marketed as organic. You just have to do your research. You just have to do your
that's
research.
always been my skeptic about organics. Is it really organic or you're just selling the products because you want everyone to think that it's organic and it's really not?
I know it was this lady I know. She did a lot of. She was a hairstylist. She did a lot of dealing with bleach. Right, that was her specialty. Like she was good at it, and
Mm,
she ended up getting cancer. I forgot what type of cancer it was. I
mm,
want to say, oh, I forgot what it was. But when they told me that she passed away, I said to myself, it had to been linked to her using that bleach all the time. It had to be. And although she did wear a mask, like when I would see her, she would have a mask on when she would be dealing with. Now, I don't know when she started wearing the mask, if she was maybe having issues and then she started wearing the mask, but I did see her wearing a mask. But she ended up passing away from cancer. And I was like, wow. And
wow.
I just know that it was linked to her using that bleach. I know it was.
Wow.
So yeah, I totally agree with you that a lot of the products they're not safe for us. Just not good. And you can pretty much tell when you put stuff on your hair how your hair really react, how it react on your skin, even
Even
the
the scent of it.
yes, and even the weave that we use, like the weave that we use to braid our hair, to glue in our hair, like
Yes.
it's just not healthy. Not if you're doing it all the time. Sometimes
Right.
not, it shouldn't be a lifestyle, right? It should be what they call it, a protective style, but it shouldn't be a lifestyle.
Something on an all the time basis.
Yeah, like you never see your hair at all. Never. So number two, these are risk factors that you can change. Being overweight, or having obesity after menopause.
Yes.
I know for African Americans, like for us, I think we have become accustomed to our women being overweight. Like we're just accustomed to it. According to statistics, 70% of African American women are overweight, and a lot of it has to do with the not moving part, not exercising at all.
Also emotional. We are emotional eaters. Yeah, we are emotional eaters. Yes. Me myself, I get emotional or upset about something. I'll go eat some chips. I'll eat candy. You know, something that I shouldn't be eating all the time. It's okay to have a snack here and there, but when you get upset or you have a lot on your mind, not saying everyone, but I would say the majority, um, out of that 70%, I would say at least 20, 20%, 25% emotional eaters.
I
So,
would just say if you're gonna emotional eat, then emotional exercise, emotional get moving. It's
yeah,
probably it's
that's
probably
true.
easier said than done, but when you think about the different things that come along with being overweight, like diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, heart disease, Like it's so many things that come attached to that being overweight, and it doesn't, you don't have to. I know this lady at my job, she had type 2 diabetes. She was on the heavy side. When she lost weight, they was like she didn't have diabetes anymore. Like,
Right.
so we know with type 2 that it has, so the type 2 has to do with your lifestyle. So these are things that you can control, and they don't have to be an overnight process. This could be a plan that you put in place to
Yes.
just get healthier. And I would say again, don't compare yourself to anybody else. You know, whatever is healthy for your weight class, for you, and if you go to the doctor and the doctor says, "Oh, you're healthy," you know, don't compare yourself to anybody else.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that one is kind of like it's kind of touchy because again, we have become accustomed to us being that way, so we think that is normal.
Yes, we do. We definitely do. And we don't want to be there in that area of our life. So we're starting to get up. I know some women are starting to get up and make those changes with the exercising and just doing it at their own moderate pace and not being in competition to keep up with someone else to see, you know, how they can do it. If they can look like that person, or if I can move like that person, if I can eat less like that person. It's one day at a time. One everything is at one pace at a time. Like you say, pace yourself. You got to do what works for you. Don't compare yourself to the next person. And learn to work on you one day at a time.
It's a personal journey. Personal journey. Number three is this is something you can control, and it's taking hormones.
Yes,
Taking hormones, right? We are
yes,
birth control pills. You don't have to take them. Although they said that they found that there's no risk to breast cancer with birth control pills, but it has to do with is messing with your hormones.
right. That was something they must have just changed because for many, many years I've heard that it does. So, you know, wow, and it's
It raises
amazing how
it does raise your risk, but not like if you had hormone replacement therapy or you taking
right.
like the during like menopause you taking like these pills for hormones, like, so if you know that you're taking something for hormones, it puts you at a higher risk.
Some people take hormones to enlarge like their breast area or their butt area before the surgeries and everything really became as popular as they are. They were taking hormones to increase their breast, to increase their butt area, So,
Wow.
yeah,
I would say just be careful with that. Really talk to your doctor to see, what risk are you putting yourself at when it comes to hormones.
right,
Because a lot of times we don't understand certain things and we want to go with the fad, what everybody else is doing, and it may not be healthy
right.
for you. All right, this is things that you can control as it relates to your risk factor for breast cancer. And we just got done talking about hormones. And let me see what's next. Your
We
reproductive
didn't
health.
talk about the alcohol abuse.
Oh, that one's next. That's the number five.
Oh, okay.
All right, reproductive history. So, if you having your first pregnancy after the age of 30, and we mentioned not breastfeeding or never having a full-term pregnancy can all raise your risk of breast cancer.
Yes, reproductive history. Whew.
So if you're talking about putting off that baby, well, you know what? I'm gonna put off my baby until I get 30, 35. You know, if you're too busy, I'm too busy to breastfeed. I don't have time. You can pump the milk versus the baby always on your breast. You can pump that milk out and the baby will have your breast milk. I'll always encourage in doing it for at least, I always say the first year of life, but everybody may not, their life may not be, conducive to where they can do it like that. But at least, at least, I don't know, 6 months, 3 months, get a baby some of your milk.
Right.
But it's a
At
personal choice.
least what, 6 weeks to a month or two or three?
I don't know. I think it's a personal thing. I know it is. And people may be like, I ain't got to breastfeed if I want to. But I'm like, that baby first coming out, the first thing you don't want to put in their system is this generated formula. No, everything that they need, all the nutrients and the vitamins, as long as you're eating right, is coming from your breast.
Right. You must eat right when you breastfeed.
You
That's
can't
the
be
best
you,
thing.
you can't be drinking. You can't be drinking. You can't. You cannot. So this is a risk factor that you cannot, right? Cannot be drinking.
Definitely, you cannot drink and breastfeed at all.
No.
You'll be
So
wondering why my baby's sleeping, why my baby head is going this way and that way. He had a glass of wine.
you think? No, you
Can't
cannot
do
be
that when
drinking.
you're breastfeeding.
Nope. So
Not at all.
if you're drinking alcohol, it puts you at a higher risk for breast cancer.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely. A very high risk.
I know people said at one point it was like drink the what is it, the red wine so that it's supposed to be heart
For
health.
the heart.
hmm But what is it doing for you otherwise? Like how much are you drinking? Because people your body only can take so much. So especially if you're drinking it every day and you're not giving your body a break.
Right. Because what works for your body in one area doesn't mean that it works for it in another part, you know? So you can't go by, you can't listen to all these different myths. So, because, like I say, if it works for the heart, doesn't mean it's going to work for the breast, doesn't mean it's going to work for the kidneys, doesn't mean it's going to work for the liver, doesn't mean it's going to work for the stomach. So you have to think about all of that as far as drinking alcohol.
So for women, when it comes to drinking, if you're drinking in moderation, that means you should have one drink a day. For men, theirs is two or less a day. I know some of y'all like, Dad, I'm already over my limit, or
Right.
I'm already over my limit already.
You're touching you're on the touching stuff. You're being very touchy when it comes to telling me how many glasses of wine I can have, how much I can drink in moderation when it comes to my glass of wine. So we have to think about all of that.
So there you have it. We have given you your risk factors, and granted, it's not all the risk factors, but you have a lot of risk factors that you can change, and you have some that you cannot change as it relates to your breast cancer health, or your breast health, should I say, before you even get a diagnosis. These are things that you should know or things that you should take a look at. So I'm putting this link up here because this is the breast cancer risk assessment. So you can go to actually click this link and it will take you to a test that you would actually put your information in and it'll tell you, are you at risk for breast cancer? So it makes it easy for you. So you don't even have to really remember what we put up here. You just go and take the test and it'll let you know what your risk is as it relates to breast cancer. Really easy for you. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, we're going to be doing 31 days, 31 facts in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Last night we did talk about the importance of awareness, and tonight was identifying your breast cancer risk. So join us for tomorrow, which is day 3. You have any final thoughts, Angela?
No final thoughts, just hope and pray that everything that we did and said today was very enlightening to everyone, and that it was very helpful and it didn't leave them with mm, mm, just uncertainties, and that they think about their life as far as the risk factors of breast cancer.
I would say knowing your breast cancer risk helps you decrease that breast cancer risk, and also helps you to be proactive about your breast health. So I hold on, we got a comment. We got a comment. Um oh, she wants to know, how long were you all on treatment plans? How long were you on your treatment plan, Angela?
She said what?
How long were you in treatment?
Um. Oh wow, 13 years. Let me see. Ooh, I gotta go all the way back. Let's see.
So Angela is
uh,
she's a 13-year breast cancer survivor.
my treatment was for 5 months. 5 months every other week, 2 days.
Did you do radiation?
Radiation was every day for 6.5 weeks.
So mine was also 5 months. So I did like I think just the regular chemo, and then the last month they gave me their red devil. And
Mhm.
then radiation was, so I did chemo every Friday for 5 months. And then radiation, I did 33 rounds of radiation. So yeah.
I
And
had
when
the red devil in the beginning, and then
ooh,
I had Tactile in the end.
right. See, mine was flipped. I had the Taxol first. And then I think
Yeah.
in June is when they gave me, June I started going every 2 weeks, and they gave me the red devil. So I got, I think, 2 rounds of the red devil. Yeah. So those were the treatment plans, and we're still here by the grace of God. Angela is a
Yes.
13-year breast cancer survivor, and myself 9 years, and I'm still here by the grace of God. I would tell you that cancer is not a death sentence, but it's an awakening to live your best life. So live your best life. Don't let cancer take charge of you, but you take charge of cancer.
Yes. Because it will try. It will try.
It would definitely try to do that.
You have to fight. Fight like there is no tomorrow.
All right, you guys, join us next tomorrow, actually Monday. Join me at 6 p.m. First of all, 6 p.m. for the regular radio show Warriors Talk. I'll be live with Rizal. We'll be talking about kicking off Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And then join me and Angela at 8 p.m. tomorrow night as we get into day 3 of your Getting the Facts in Recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I also want to mention we having our 6th annual Survivors Night of Reflection Gala that's coming up on Saturday, October 22nd. 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Crystal Sky Banquet Hall, 7941 West 47th Street in McCook. McCook is close to North Riverside. It's about 5 minutes from North Riverside, you guys. So some people see McCook and be like, oh my God, where is that? But it is our season to emerge And survivors, you are free. So if you have been diagnosed with cancer, if you're in treatment, out of treatment, it doesn't matter. You're considered a survivor from the day that you were diagnosed. You are free for this event. If you're a non-survivor, the cost is $40. Survivors, I need you to register. I need to know how many survivors are coming so that I can prepare properly your swag bags, your awards, and everything. You get a chance to speak at the event. We let our survivors talk to give a snippet of their journey. We're going to award a Survivor of the Year, a Community Service Award for a survivor that's out there in the community. We're going to do a Caregiver Award because a lot of times we don't recognize our caregivers, and we know that caregivers out there doing a tireless, thankless job, and a lot of them don't even get paid for
Yes,
it.
yes, indeed.
So we will be awarding a caregiver on that night, and then we're going to award a recipient for our Warrior in Battle Fund, and that individual will be awarded financially for those people who are having a hard time financially, where it be paying bills, rent, co-pays, whatever it is that you need help with. We're going to bless a warrior on that night. So I need you guys to go to Eventbrite, type in Survivors Night of Reflection Gala, and go ahead and register and join us on that night. If you want to be a sponsor on Eventbrite, it has the sponsorship packages. It has a vendor information if you want to be a vendor. But we are looking to have an amazing time on that Saturday. So you guys, I want you guys to show up and show out. But join us
Yes,
tomorrow.
it's going to be great.
Yes, I'm excited. But join us tomorrow, you guys, at 8 p.m. We'll be right back here live. And again, this is Lady ReShell with Warriors Talk, author and founder. Co-hosting with me today is Angela, 13-year breast cancer survivor and advocate. With Warriors Talk, we are changing lives one warrior at a time.